All right, welcome to this weekly outlook, the recorded version. This week we won't have a live weekly outlook because of the football match that's this afternoon. My home country Netherlands is playing, so I won't be live streaming then. It will be an unedited version, so no cuts, just straight to the point. Let's start at Forex Factory. I mentioned this at the Telegram the other day. We have a very exciting week coming up, so let's go over each day. Monday, we have USD red folder, Empire State. Not too big, but red folder's red folder. Tuesday, we have AUD rates, one of the three big boys. Another red folder. So it's very nice for our Monday and Tuesday live stream. We already have a red folder done when the stream starts. So that's very nice. A GBP is the one to watch this week, or not to watch. You know how to play the news by now, if you watch the mentorship videos. We have both CPI on Wednesday, and we have rates on Thursday. So that's very, you can say dangerous, but like the most volatility is going to be in those days. So if you see a nice setup, you know with a big stop loss you could take it. But if you're a scalper, I wouldn't touch that because you probably will be slipped out one of the way before the real move. So lots of GBP news. We have NZD red folder. Wednesday as well, we have a bank holiday. So for Wednesday live stream, I'm thinking about doing a London live stream so we can watch GBP CPI together. So you can see live, okay, these are GBP pairs, and this is how CPI goes. Thursday, very interesting as well. We have GHF rates. So Thursday we have GBP and GHF rates, so big ones. And before the live stream, we have another red folder. Friday, another GBP news, smaller one. We have lots of Euro and GBP red folders in London. So very exciting London session Friday. And live at the stream before the 10 a.m. game starts, we're going to look at the last red folder for USD for the week. So yeah, it's a packed week. So that means lots of pairs to discuss. And yeah, with that said, let's dive into the chart. So you guys know what I'm going to do. This is the green list, the pairs I'm watching. And as always, we're going to start with DXY. And I want to give a quick recap of what happened this month. Because before this month, we were kind of in the middle, like, hey, what is DXY actually going to do? We were looking at this at the start of June. And what I always say, if you have a monthly candle, and you expect, for example, your monthly candle to be bullish, you want the first few days to consolidate, then manipulate, then distribute. And on a monthly time frame, NFP and CPI are both the start of the manipulation and the start of distribution. Sometimes NFP is the start of distribution, sometimes CPI is that, sometimes FOMC is that. But around that first and second week, you will see that manipulation, start of distribution happening. So with that in mind, let's look at what happened. Monday, start of June, we place lower. Then we consolidate. And then NFP, we set the low, expand higher. Then we have Monday, Wednesday CPI and FOMC. CPI does the manipulation here. And then you see FOMC expanding. And now we are here. So if you have this framework, this exactly is playing out as it should. So how the current monthly candle has performed, it went down a little bit. NFP low, displacement higher, CPI retracement, FOMC expansion. This is how the current June candle looks like. And this, to me, looks like a classic buy profile. So my buys on DXY is going to be longs. The eventual target is going to be these equal highs. We already took some liquidity here. See, I think we took over. Yeah, we took also this liquidity on Friday by a point, and then we came back. But as you expect from the weekly outlook, what are your arrays? Like the bias is long. Well, we took liquidity. And if you're in a buy program, guys, you know you want discount arrays to hold. What is the last down close candle that swept the liquidity? That is this down close candle. What makes that down close candle? That's an order block. So let's roll it out. Then we displace higher, leaving a fair value gap. We trade to it. Let's see how the bodies are. Do the bodies respect the 50%? I think a little bit. Close enough. And then we expect that we expand higher. Now we're expanding higher. What is this down close candle now? This down close candle is an order block. Another order block has formed. And in a buy program, you want the down close candles to support price higher. So now we have a narrative, a framework that we are in a buy program. And now it's the question, okay, cool. We expect price to go higher. Well, you're going to need to go through each price action to go to the highs. How can we deliver that? So we know a higher time frame story. So for the monthly, it's very clear. We're going to push for the highs here. Weekly, let's remove this. Weekly, we have a weekly volume imbalance. A volume imbalance is a form of an imbalance. So if you have seen the fair value gap video, VIs, gaps, and fair value gaps are all imbalances, internal range liquidity. So I'm also going to mark this out on the chart for a potential point of interest for price to come back there. So come back to the daily. So currently we are here. It's currently a Sunday, so the market is closed. So what I expect for this week's price is to manipulate to the order block or to the volume balance to then trade higher. So Monday and Tuesday, I'm expecting lower prices. And it's very nice because on Monday, I'm just going to wait. What is price? Does it go higher or does it already expand? Does it go lower on Monday or does it already expand higher? You don't know. That's why you need to wait for Monday. But bullish price action is confirmed. And these are my point of interest to long from. So the order block, what we, for example, also can have, what's the most high probability, of course, is that Monday is a green candle. And then on Tuesday, there is a bullish fair value gap created. Then on Tuesday, we can trade into the fair value gap order block combination to go higher. And again, if you see price shooting through this bullish fair value gap or through the order block, there is a weekly volume imbalance. And you know, if you have a big order block, take 50% of that. 50% is the mean threshold to the order block, is a significant level. And that is an overlapping part with the volume imbalance. So keep that in mind. So the first point of interest is the order block, so around the 104, 80, 90s. If it shoots lower, then expect price to react from around the 60s here in the weekly volume imbalance inside the order block. Okay, I'm going to remove this. You guys should do this yourself. I like to keep my chart very clean. And if you do this long enough, you train your eyes. You see this order block, you see liquidity sweep, you see all the arrays. We have also a bullish breaker here. So, okay, higher price for DXY. I promise I'm not going to be so long at every pair, but I think DXY is the most important one to discuss. AUD, NCD, and Euro GBP are the SFT pairs. So, for example, AUD, NCD, AUD is weaker. So if you want to short something with a higher dollar, for example, if you need to choose between AUD and NZD, I would prefer shorting AUD because AUD is the weakest currently. Euro GBP, also the Euro is the weakest. So if we want to go short, I would prefer Euro shorts over GBP shorts. Okay, the indices. Yeah, well. We are still at price discovery, and I think we can reach 20k this week. So the magical 20k, that's a psychological level. So a little fundamental. I'm not going into detail, but the algorithm likes round numbers, and what is even nicer than a 20k. But that's just of course, you're here for the technicals. So let's see what we have. So monthly is just one big expansion candle. Remember, we took the long from here, from the weekly busy expanding. So very well done for the guys who took this. On a daily basis, we mostly have been longing. On Friday, we took a short, but to recap Friday's trade, we saw during the 10 AM game that this candle didn't create any fair value gap lower. So no bearish fair value gap here. So that indicated already the price potentially could go higher. And we took it out of break even. And yes, it did. So it's good to know for your journal. If there is no fair value gap created, then this is now potentially order block. Go higher from. So bias higher. But look at all the fair value gaps. 1, 2, volume imbalance. Where do you trade long from? This is the daily volume imbalance. And this is the difficult part about trading in all-time highs. You have no clue where price will go down from. So shorting is the most difficult one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait at least until Monday 10 AM. I hope that we get a nice move down. Of course, not 200 points. Gone too mad. I would say we are going early in the week. We're going already to the 20k. And then we can see a move lower. That's one idea I have in mind. So that's why Monday is very important. And if you go lower on Monday, so this if Monday goes higher, then this is my idea for the weekly profile. And if Monday trades lower, then I'm going to see, do we create any market maker model on lower time frame, maybe here somewhere, to go higher towards 20k. So I think the 20k area, it's only 300 points away. That's nothing for NQ. If you see how much it moved. So that's the second trade idea. And the third is, sometimes after 2 big expansion weeks, you can see a smaller range. Comparable to this week, the last week of May. We just had big expansions, 1 week, 2 weeks, and then 1 week it was just a little bit choppy. Also can be. So, and then you might ask, okay, cool, you have now 3 profiles in your head. Which one are we going to trade? And the answer is you don't know. But on a daily basis, we're going to reflect on that. Hey, what we do already? Which arrays are hit already? Where can we trade long off from? Or is our weekly objective of the 20k already met? So let's see. So yeah, very exciting 10 AM game coming up tomorrow and Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm not expecting a nice 10 AM game. I'm going to play, of course. Probably the live stream will be at London, so you can play the 10 AM game by yourself. On a bank holiday, there is most of the time not much volatility. So yeah, do with that what you can. ES the same. We created an SMT at the value gaps on this low. We created an SMT on Friday. What I mean with an SMT is, remove this one. The Thursday low got taken out on Friday here, and NQ did not take out Thursday's low. So that means high prices are on the cards. Well, they do. And yeah, let's see what we get. So honestly, I'm not expecting too big of a retracement. So yeah, let's see. Very exciting. That's it for the indices. Then go to USD pairs. You guys know from DXY that I want to go higher. So that means a lower USD pairs. And I already did some analysis here. what I want to see. Well, let's start the monthly. We're still consolidating at the monthly. So the monthly, there's not much to see. We took the May high already. That's nice. That's liquidity pool. And on a weekly also, not much to see. And a daily is becoming clearer and clearer. So we took the monthly high here. This plays lower. Then during CPI, we touched to the fair value gap. The bodies are respecting the fair value gap and going lower, making this up close candle a bearish order block. And we have clear failure swings under here. So this is my, like the low-hanging fruit targets for this week. Is the April here. April low here. Not the April low, but the 30th April low. And the actual April low. So then, just like I want to see a little lower on DXY before going higher, I want to see maybe a touch to the order block. And then go, like I don't need a fair value gap on the daily. So for example, you can go to the 1 hour and see what arrays do you have inside that order block here. You have a fair value gap here, here, here. So just go to the lower time frame. Expect the manipulation higher before going lower. That's why I'm going to look at, I'm going to stalk the USD pairs. Euro USD is quite nice, quite easy because there's not too much news. If you go back to, where's the news here? So Euro, the first red folder of Euro is on Friday. So Euro is just going to move along with USD in the meantime. GBP, the other hand, is a whole different ballgame this week. Let's see. Well, we just hit our, like GBP is very strong. So we just hit the weekly objective from last week was this busy. And yeah, now there's not much to see actually. So what I want to see, what I like to see, a down close candle on Monday, creating a bearish fair value gap. Then Tuesday or Wednesday, I hope to see the same as we saw on DXY with CPI and the rates. Like remember, DXY, CPI was to move lower into the fair value gap, and then the rates, like it was the manipulation and the rates were the expansion. I hope to see the same on GU. So we have the rates first, and I hope to get the touch in the fair value gap, and then CPI does this, and then the rates will push price lower towards these lows. But as you see, this is high resistance liquidity. Why? Aggressive sells, aggressive buys, we took liquidity. If you compare this low to the failure swings of Euro, compare these lows. You see the difference? So this is the 2020 April 22nd, right here. This is nice structure. This high resistance structure. It's very nice to long from. But if you want to go short, this is very difficult for price to go through. That's why I prefer shorting Euro USD. And for all this to happen, or DXY needs to go up. If DXY shoots lower, then this whole trade idea is of course not valid, but I'm expecting higher DXY. So I'm not going to look too aggressively for shorts for GBP. But this can change when, for example, the rates are going to stay the same, for example. Or, sorry, if the rates are being cut. Because if the rates are being cut, then the pound will be weaker. And then you will see GBP becoming the weaker asset. And you see Euro GBP, you will see shot up because Euro will be stronger against the pound again. So that's why I'm going to wait until like CPI and rates. That's going to be the main catalyst for GBP USD. And all the GBP pairs on the list. So for shorts, Euro USD. Then let's look at AUD USD as well. I don't like this price action. On a weekly, we have two clear point of interest. The weekly BISI and the weekly SIBI. On a daily, we are consolidating between those. So I'm basically going to wait. To wait for one of the two to be taken out. So it is on the list because I like to have all the USD pairs to just toggle between them. But I'm not going to look for any setups anytime soon for AUD USD. If it shoots lower, then of course I can, for example, it shoots lower on Monday, taking out the low, and it stops right before the low here and the weekly busy. Then on Tuesday, I of course can take a short towards here. But for now, yeah, I don't like to trade consolidations. NZD USD, we just took out the equal highs here, then went lower with a very clear weekly busy as drawn liquidity. So here we took the liquidity up here. You know, when we take a high and the bodies fail to displace over the high and we just go lower and lower and lower, this is very bearish sign. And this is pretty nicely aligning with the higher DXY narrative. So this is one of my favorites, just like Euro USD to short. On daily, not much to see. I think the 4 hours also not too nice, but like you saw the displacement for value gap. Now we're going lower, and now we are. I want to see what we do inside this for value gap to go lower from. So let's see earlier in the week. We don't have too much NCD news. I think we have 1 or 2 red folders, so not too much. So that's the NCD story. Then let's go to Euro NCD, and both the NCD pairs and the AUD pairs, I'm not too sure of, but yeah, they moved pretty nicely. So let's look at the monthly first. Well, the monthly is looking quite bearish. The weekly as well. We left this weekly CB behind. Of course, we're not going to retrace towards this busy CB and then go lower. This is just for later, when we are in the buy side of the curve again. What I'm looking right now is, like, for example, here is that inside that weekly, we already had a daily for value gap, tapped into it, making this an order block, price respecting the order block, going lower again, making this an order block, going lower again. So I'm expecting this to be the point of interest. This bearish order block together with this daily CB to go lower from. So what I'm going to monitor this week on Euro NCD is this move towards the flat body low right here. And it's in line with the order flow. Yes, we just took liquidity, but I think we can take more. Like, we also have this. This is a pretty significant low right here. We didn't take that. Probably going to take it on Sunday or Monday. So this is the game plan for Euro NCD. The tricky part, like with the NCD, I want that the Euro NCD and GBP NCD move the same to be the most high probable, because it's correlated pairs. But they don't. Like, Euro is so strong, so weak against the pound, that the whole structure between the two is completely different. Here, look. Let's look at the December low. It's right here. Look at the difference. This is the same low as down here. And based on this structure, or GBP NCD, the other one, this is a high resistance low, retracement, expansion, take out the highs here. But based on the current price action, I think we will go lower for the NCD pairs, also based on the order flow right here. It will be nice if we can close below this up close candle, because then this up close candle become our order block. So just like the USD pairs, I think Euro is the one to short. So I think USD and NCD crosses can go lower. And I think the cleanest one are Euro NCD, this trade idea. And here comes the cool part. If you want to play, for example, the school model. Okay. I always go off track during these weekly outlooks, so I'm sorry, but I think it's very helpful. So, for example, we have Thursday low right here. And we also have that significant low right here, the December low. The December low has lots of money below it. So what you can do on Monday is play a little school model. Like, we know we want to short from the daily CB right here. The one here. That's a point of interest for this week. What you can look at is, what if price on Monday or Tuesday continues to trade lower, 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 sweeping both last week's low but also the December low. These lows are very close to each other, so they could be taken the same move, making that the first check of your school model is a sweep of higher time frame liquidity. So this is a monthly and also a weekly liquidity pool, sell side liquidity pool. You take lots of money right now. Then look for price to create a sort of, can be like this, can be like this, some form of structure at this low to go higher from, to play a school model. Sweep of a low, market structure shift off, fair value gap, order book breaker, and then your drawn liquidity is of course low hanging fruit, the highs here. If you want to hold it, maybe a runner towards the daily CB. This is what I'm going to look at price early in the week, for example here on Euro NCD. So this is how, I saw some of you had some trouble with the top-down analysis. So this is how I'm looking at price. So for example here, again, to recap this, for Euro NCD, I have a few points of interest. Let's remove this one. First point of interest is the low from December. We're almost there. The second one is this flat body low from May. And I think we can have a manipulation higher where's the daily CB and the order block to go lower from. And if you have that, then you can take lower time frame longs towards here. This is already like almost 100 points. Oh, no, that's not true. That is hold on. No, that's totally bullshit. Hold on. Where is it? It actually is. Yeah, it's just 100 points. So that could be a nice long. And then you could just go to a lower time frame. Are there potential arrays that can mess with your idea? So for example, there is a 1 hour CB right here with the bearish breaker. So yeah, that's how I look at price. So this could be a very nice 1 hour market maker buy model. With those juicy filler swings just before the daily CB. Okay, going off track again. Okay, so this is a little top-down analysis. Here's your gem for sticking to the end. To the end, we're halfway, but so Euro NCD short, GBP NCD. I'm not too sure. I'm going to wait the news and the rates, the CPI and the rates. AOD, the same. I think I have it in my notes here as well. Yeah, after rates, we have AOD rates. I'm kind of like based on this, we have very nice liquidity pools down here, but also flat body highs up here. If you look at both Euro and GBP AOD, the order flow is not too clear for me. And again here, look at the difference between this high, or this low, the January low, and right here. So I'm going to see what we do after rates. The rates will decide where the order flow is going to be. So I'm very curious about that. So I'm going to look at AOD after rates. So I'm not going to discuss anything right now because now I'm kind of in the middle. So that's very nice to, this is not very nice. No. I think rates, for example, can push to this for value gap under this lows. It's a very nice liquidity pool. And also these lows. So that's why I think we go lower, but I want the rates to confirm that trade idea. Then I have some CAT pairs and some GSF pairs. CAT, with the higher dollar idea, go to weekly first. We still are respecting the weekly order book. We have consolidating for 2 months. Almost 2 months here, 6 weeks, before expanding higher in the first week of June. Expanded now into the daily BSC. And it's not like we took the high right here, then went lower. We're respecting this order block. So I think we have still some push higher towards these highs and also these highs. So I'm going to look for if DXY is going to expand higher, then I'm definitely going to look at USD CAD taking out, the April high. Equal highs here. But that's just later in the week. Euro CAD and GBP CAD. It's kind of the same with AUD. They're so different from each other. Look at this. So let's start with GBP. High resistance structure here at the lows, the April lows. We took liquidity, aggressive sells out of the range, aggressive buys into the range for value gap, boom. This high resistance liquidity, difficult to go lower to. So that could mean we could see higher prices from this daily SIBI. But I don't like that because why? We have very juicy flat body lows right here. I don't like that. Also, if you look at EuroCAD had all these, look at all the failure swings. This is easy liquidity. And what I saw, like we took liquidity up here. Liquidity, displacement lower. What do we have here? Balanced price range. Overlapping part between an inversion for value gap and a for value gap. Bodies are respecting this to go lower from. Making this a high probability order block. Right here. So for what this makes tricky is I'm expecting for EuroCAD to do this. And for GBPCAD, I can frame longs from here or longs from there. So, but these two should correlate. So that's why I'm kind of tricky. I'm just going to watch what these do. I'm open for both ideas. Low probability means that. So USD-CAD, when you have higher probability condition, for example, you can frame every CAD cross to the high, for example, or lower. But now I think USD-CAD can go higher. I think EuroCAD can go lower, and I think GCAD can go higher. I think that's interesting. So CAD pairs are on the list, but I just want to see more of them. We don't have much news. GCAD has the most, GPA of course has the most news, so let's see. Then USD, CHF. Yeah, we've gone lower so much, but I'm still not convinced that we are done with the upside. I think we are in a retracement to go higher. And why I think that? I think the monthly says it all. With all these failure swings up here. This is a yearly objective. All the, like, look at all the, oh no, this is not a failure swing. This one. All these highs, we have a monthly SIBI as drawn liquidity, and we had that aggressive sells, aggressive buys. So this is going to be high resistance liquidity for me. That means I'm still looking at higher prices for USD-CHF. So I think with the power of the higher DXY, we can see some upside this week. So I'm going to look at, okay, what do we do here? This down close candle. And don't forget we have GHF rates, so that can be the volatility injection. Like, remember, what is the start of the month? Here, let's see, June, right here. We haven't had any upside yet in the month on the monthly candle. So what you can see, just like DXY, we have some lower prices, setting the low of the month. This is the manipulation part. And then maybe the rates can start the distribution phase of the monthly candle. If it doesn't do that and just goes lower, then on next week I'm going to frame more for shorts, because then that idea is invalidated. And for Euro, CHF, we have this balanced price range right here. But yeah, also so bearish. But look at the highs. That's the difficult part about this trading these. Like, we completely ignore the order block here. So this would indicate like CHF is strong right now. Lower CHF crosses. And here you have that same challenge. What we see on every pair with Euro and Pound. We have SMTs at every single cross with Euro and GBP. Crazy, right? So this low is not taken out by the GBP. It is by the Euro. And if we, like, the thing is, what I also saw previous years, if you see this happening, there's potentially a shift coming up. And I think potentially this week can do that with the GBP rates. That's why I think it's very exciting. So to conclude, NQ higher, USD pairs lower, NCD not sure, but I think lower, AUD not sure, lower, CAD not sure, lower, GSF not too sure, higher. So my main capital is going to deploy it on the USD pairs and the indices. And I'm going to stalk during the news reports. I'm going to stalk the rest of the crosses to see what they give us. And we have, like, the thing is, if you feel like a little lost on the chart, you're not sure which one to choose, higher or lower your bias, that's fine. Because the big news reports, the rates, CPIs, the NFPs, the three big boys, will give the direction of the monthly candle. And I, in my preparation, I forgot to look at gold. Like JPY pairs are not on the list. And why is that? I think JPY is just in the middle of something. I saw this price action. If I see this, and I don't see any news coming up for this week, I'm not touching it. So I'm waiting for next week to. I think we still can go lower, weekly internal to external, but there's not much to see for me for the JPY pairs. But for my fellow gold traders, let me see what gold did. Clean chart. It's not prepared, so let me see. This is still my draw on liquidity. Let's see what silver did. Silver doesn't have any monthly for value gaps. Let's see on the weekly. On a weekly, we have this weekly for value gap, but we already touched. And then on the daily, let's go back to gold. Okay, what I see currently on the daily. We have the monthly for value gap. So we traded lower right here. For value gap, touch, go. Then we swap liquidity down here. This is how I look at price. This is what I'd like to do when I'm analyzing a new pair. So I see a sweep liquidity right here. That's the upper part of the monthly for value gap. We took liquidity. Then we displaced upwards, leaving a value gap. We touch into that with the down close candle, and then we expand higher, ignoring this SIBI. So that would mean buyers are in control, because if buyers are in control, you're in a buy program, sellers should be ignored. So here, order block, breaker, value gap, all ignored. All premium rates ignored. Higher. We come back, higher again. And then we took out the April highs. And then we start expanding lower. This price action from the end of May is very significant. This is energy, this displacement. So then we displaced upwards, consolidated, took liquidity one more time into this fair value gap and balanced price range. Why is balanced price range? It's this part was not mitigated yet to go lower. That makes this displacement from June 7th very significant, because this is a bearish fair value gap together with breaker and order block. So based on this structure, liquidity, displacement, fair value gap 1, fair value gap 2, I think, and then with the clear drawn liquidity on the monthly, I hate to break it for the gold trades who think we're going higher, but I think we're going to go lower first. Taking out the lows here. But gold is more, I'm going to add it. Gold is more sensitive to the news. So what you, for example, can do, premium discount, we already touched premium. Like perhaps you can wait for, what I've seen on gold is that we love to do a turtle soup. So that we take liquidity, last week's liquidity, and then go lower from there. And that is like that idea from the higher time frame with all the, just following the energy, following displacement and seeing which arrays are holding. I think the premium arrays, so the bearish arrays are in control right now. And that is very nice if you look at the 1 hour, because if you have higher time frame bearish idea, how nice is it to see this staircase right here? So yeah, taking out last week's high, about June high before going lower. That's my my bias on gold. And little outlook for Bitcoin. I saw it went lower last week. Well, we talked exactly about this last week. I mentioned expect a weekly internal to external. Like you can rewatch the last weekly outlook. I said it was like this, and I said, yo, look at how clean, like this is a protected low. High resistance low. We took liquidity, displays upwards. I think the daily can show it even more clearly. This is high resistance structure. Aggressive sells out of the range, aggressive buys into the range, into the monthly fair value gap. Bodies are respecting the balanced price range. So I think we're not going lower than this. Definitely not. And how nice is it to see it touching the weekly fair value gap? Bodies are closing on the top of the fair value gap. I think you can... I think I'm going to trade this, guys. Ooh, yes. Okay, I think Matt. I know you watch this, Matt. I see all your Bitcoin analysis. When price earned the week displays higher, then I'm going to look what price does the order block right here, and if it does, I'm in. Oh, let's do this again. Displacement, leaving fair value gap order block, breaker. Let's see what price does here. If it respects that, then I'm in from around here towards the equal highs here. Let's see if we had 1 to 3, 1 to 2. And I think, let's see what Ethereum did. No SMTs here. What's SMT here at the lows here? At the 15th of May lows. So no SMT yet, but I think Bitcoin has something promising in mind. If we are pushing lower for Bitcoin earlier in the week, even lower than the weekly, then expect a staying into the daily busy here to go higher from. But higher price on Bitcoin are so obvious here. Look at all the highs here. 1, 2, 3, 4 highs. There's so much money. Like all the sellers here in this whole move can be taken out by this liquidity pool up here. All the sell stops are resting up here. So I would definitely say higher prices, but the question is, where are we going to long from? So let's add Bitcoin to the list, Ethereum as well, to see an SMT. Gold, lower prices. And yeah, that's it for the weekly outlook, guys. This is not going to be edited, so sometimes little rant. I try to give the higher time per point of interest. I'm saying where I'm very sure of, where I'm a little bit hesitant, but it's worth a shot. I already gave it to you. USD pairs are nice. NCD, AUD, CAD, and GHF are okay-ish. Bitcoin could be very nice this week. Gold can be very nice this week with shorts. And of course, the indices are always nice with the 10 AM game. And yeah, the main driver behind the high probability trades is going to be DXY higher towards the equal highs right here. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you did, please share it with all your trading friends. Like, subscribe. Yeah, you know the drill. And yeah, tomorrow, 9 AM EST, we're going back for another 10 AM game. We already have red folder at 8:30, so that's very nice. We already have some liquidity sweep probably, or some liquidity pool created before taking that out during the 10 AM game. If there are any questions, you can post them in the school group or below the video in the comments. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy watching the football match if you're going to do it. And see you guys later. Bye-bye.